Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and I've got a sort of new and improved Old Han approach for the Chinese. Now, this wasn't actually provided by myself, it was provided by one of my good friends, Morlazan, and he's around sort of 1350 elo, something like that, so this is going to help a lot of you guys, and I'm going to be casting a replay between him and another Chinese opponent, so it's going to be a mirror matchup. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below, whether you're going to be adopting this new Old Han army improvement, and whether you think it is an improvement actually. Do you think going for the standard sort of Old Han army rush is better than this? Then make sure you let me know. And of course, if you find it entertaining, useful, all that good stuff, please feel free to drop a like. All right, guys, let's get into this. Okay, ladies and gents, you find me on the battlefield of a fantastic Chinese mirror here with my friend Morlazan, playing the new and improved Age 2 Old Han Rush. So we know the good old Han. I've done multiple videos on this in the past, but with the recent change to China with that T export cart, it kind of enables you to be able to have a stronger economy and a stronger push and a quicker push at that as well. So we're going to be seeing that in action, and I hope you guys can try and use these strategies here that we're going to see Morlazan do, and just give China a go. If you haven't given them a go before, if you like Age 2, if you don't if you're not a huge fan of the semi-FF or the FI or the FF style, if you like to play in Age 2 and put a lot of pressure on, then this is something that I really suggest you guys do. So we can see Morlazan here is going to be opening up with a 2-village opening. So he's not going to be going for the village and the TP. Now, I don't know whether that's the best thing to do. I think having 2 villages first means that you have that population space. You don't have to worry about it as much. I tend to go for the village and a TP opening if there is one available. But it looks like Morlazan's going for the 2 village, which is absolutely fine. You can do that. I would probably recommend doing it if you are going to be playing some heavy Age 2 stuff. So that is exactly what we're going to be seeing here. And we're going to be seeing the deck shortly. And Morlazan is up against, obviously, another Chinese opponent here. And I'm not too sure this person's name. I'm going to say Chow Mao. I'm going to say Chow Mao. I think that's how you probably pronounce that. I'm not too sure. But we've got Chow Mao here against Morlazan, so let's see how this goes. And I believe this opponent here, Chow Mao, goes for a FF. So that's a very common naked FF China strategy that you can do. We're going to be seeing that, whereas Morlazan is going to be putting the pressure on and fighting in Age 2 and see if he can try and deny Chow Mao here from getting into Age 3. So what do we see from Morlazan here? We see the land deck, and once again, this is pretty darn standard, nothing too crazy here. I would maybe recommend having another card in Age 2 if you know that you're going to be playing Age 2 pretty much and you have no real sort of idea or plan of going to Age 3. I would just max out your cards in Age 2. But apart from that, seems absolutely fine. We've got a really good card here. The standard army hit points card is great. The Duck Squad can be used quite well later on in the game. The Rattan Shields can be a really good turnaround if you are on the back foot. And if you're facing a lot of pressure, the Rattan Shield can be really nice. But let's see what Morlazan goes for. He has gone for the Northern Refugees first, which means that he's going to get 2 villagers from the villages and 1 villager from the TC, which is really nice. It's going to help his eco overall. And it looks like he's just picked up 100 wood, which is absolutely amazing. That 100 wood is going to be huge, especially because we're going to be seeing the Old Han. The Old Han is just food and wood. So all you need to worry about is food and wood, food and wood, food and wood. So that's what we're going to be seeing. So I'm really excited about this because he did approach me. He DM'd me and said, look, I think I've got a new and improved Old Han sort of play that uses the T export card, and he's been having a lot of success on it. Apparently, he's been, I think he's got 5 wins in a row recently, and he's really climbing up on the ladder with it. So you know what? I thought I would show it to you guys, seeing as China is one of my favorite civs, and if I can come across any new strategies, I definitely will promote them and show them to you guys. So yeah, but pretty much very straightforward. You know, build 2 villages, get Northern Refugees, and just try and get some food or wood treasures, I imagine would be the best thing. We do see a 75 food treasure coming in now for him. And he is obviously aging up with the Summer Palace, building it very defensively next to the TC, which is all good to see. And he is now going for the T export card. So this is a real crucial card here. And because he hasn't gone for TP, I don't know whether he's going to be delayed a bit here. But let's see if he gets the blockhouse out just in time. Let's see if he does it. Because what Mulazan's going to do, he's going to ally with Russia, which is really good. He's going to ally with Russia. He's going to build the blockhouse. He's going to spend 225 export. He's going to get his blockhouse out. That blockhouse can pretty much create any Chinese banner army troop. It's kind of insane, and obviously acts as a defensive building. And I think the plan after that is to switch up the consulates, which we're going to be seeing. So let's see how all that works. And we do see now, this is interesting. So in transition, we do see a third village going down. Kind of unusual. So you may want to put maybe a TP down in transition, but instead Mulazan is going for a third village. He's really doubling down on the population so he doesn't have to deal with it. And he has now got his consulate down. And he's going to be allying with Russia, as I mentioned. And pretty much you can see the macro here is majority on wood, some on food. And I don't know whether or not he's going to go for a market as well, whether he's going to try and squeeze a market out to get some market tech. That's what I would maybe recommend if you want to really bolster on your economy. But we do see now, I think that's 500 food that comes in, right? 400 food, sorry. It's really nice. 400 food coming in on the age up, which is really good. So just make sure to macro well. You're expecting 400 food, so try not to have too many bills on food in transition because you're going to be getting it from your age up. And now we do see the blockhouse wagon is coming out, and boom, there it is. So it is a little bit late. It is a little bit late because he didn't go for a TP first. He instead went for the double village, and then he actually built a third village as well. So there's multiple ways that you can play it. It all depends on how you want to play, whether you want to get out as quickly as possible. If you get out as quickly as possible, you might not have enough eco. You might have to think about building a village a lot sooner because you'll only have one, for example. But look at Mulazan now. He's got 75 population. He's basically got, yeah, like you could see there, he's got about 50 pop to play with, which is really nice. And the next card is going to be the 700 wood, really crucial for that food and macro split. He's not going for troops first. He is just going straight for that 700 wood. And he's got his first Old Han army in queue. And he's left his summer palace on the standard army, which is quite a good thing to do, quite a nice thing to do. So he's going to have a few step riders coming in every now and then. Because the only downside with the Age 2 Old Han play is mobility. That's one of the really tricky things, and that's something that kind of frustrated me a little bit with the Old Han opening, and that's why most of the time I go for more of the Mongolian Scourge, so the Kashyyyks and the Step Rider, and I go for the standard army, which is the Step Rider and Shu Canoe, because it gives you more mobility on the map. Old Han doesn't give you as much, but it's more devastating because you have a lot of pike. Pike have a lot of siege, 30 siege per pikeman, and you can really do a lot of damage, but you just don't have as much mobility. That's the only downside. So we do see just another Old Han army in queue. 700 wood has obviously been dropped. We're collecting that, and now this is the crucial thing. We are now switching to the German allies, and you can do this once you've got 100 export. You can get rid of your end your relations, and you can switch to another country to ally with. And Mulazan has gone ahead and switched to Germany. This is so crucial for this build. You've got to remember to do this because the German allies reduces your banner army cost. It reduces the banner army cost significantly, and it's something that you must do to really help your eco and to make you basically able to do what you need to do. So we can see here that Mulazan has backed up a ton of wood now, and he's probably chopping a little bit too much wood. I would recommend now getting another barracks down with that amount. I think it's obviously because of the fact that he's got 700 wood first. He's gone for the 700 wood first, which has enabled him to have so much wood backed up. So I would probably just build a house. You could probably build a market as well. Get some of that wood spent. Get a house down, get a market down, and then maybe get another barracks down. Get a barracks down and see if you can produce off of 2. That's what I'd recommend. And another batch coming out. There's just a lot coming out right now. We've got 18 Shu Canoes, 15 pikemen, and a couple of step riders. And let's have a look at our opponent very quickly. He has gone for the Russian consulate as well. He's played that defensively. He has got a market, and he's got so many vills queued up for some reason. That's very strange. And now he's starting to get into age 3 with the porcelain tower. And not a bad age up time. He's got 6 vills on it. He is a little bit slow. He's just got a little force out to the right here. And he's definitely doing something different. And now we do see Morlazan pushing in. Has he got his pikemen? Yeah, his pike shipments come out. So he's got 27 pikemen, 21 chew canoes. And now he's pushing across the map. It is just gone 8 minutes. And he's going to be doing a timing attack here. Now, it all depends against what civilization you're playing against. If you're playing against an FF civ, I would recommend trying to get some troops out a bit earlier or pressuring a little bit earlier than 8 minutes 30. But we do see a monumental force here. And there's a lot of pike here, and you're going to see the amount of siege that these pike are capable of doing. It's going to be pretty darn devastating. And we've got more Old Harm backed up, ready to go. And there's another patch of pikemen coming in as well. Morlazan is just going to target the blockhouse. Probably the best thing to do, to be honest. Get rid of the blockhouse. And that's the only way that they can really make troops. And Chow Mao's just about to get into age 3 now. So we're going to see how he reacts. He's going to be trying to build down a war academy over here. And he's going to be aging up very, very shortly. It's just taking a bit of time. And there it is. And I don't know what his first card is going to be. Maybe Arquebusier's. No, he's going for the intervention card. Let's have a look at Morlazan here now, following up with the 7 step riders. So starting to really get his cards in. So he went 9 pike, now 7 step rider. And he's going to be focusing down the porcelain tower. This is the best thing to do because it's such a huge eco building. Really recommend taking that down. And look at all the pikemen. Look at all the siege. You've got 25 pikemen on the field, 25 chew canoes, and it's just constant Old Harm production. Simple as that. You know, we don't see another barracks up at all yet. Just one blockhouse. Yeah, and he's getting stuck in onto the TC now. And we can see a big shift in score. And he actually used intervention, but he had the German allies. Which means he's got these Zweihanders. They aren't too bad, but there isn't a lot of cav around for them to be that effective. So I think Morlazan's going to be able to clear these up pretty well. And Step Rider's now coming in. And Morlazan is going to be getting the standard army hit points upgrade, which is going to really help his chew canoes more than anything. Let's have a look at Chow Mao here. He's going to now be going for the Changdao, but once again, it's not the best choice. I'd probably go for the 10 Arquebusiers, definitely in this situation. And he is going to be Morlazan, unfortunately, wasting some of those step riders there to the Changdao, but the TC has gone down, and he's going to be clearing up the vills with all of his troops. And yeah, it's pretty evident how devastating this is, and a huge score gap now. And it's going to be really hard for Chow Mao to try and to get back from this. He's got another shipment coming in. He does have a Forbidden Army coming in very, very shortly, but there's just not enough for him to deal with that. He's going to try and see what he can do now with the Changdao. Pike on Changdao, it looks like. The Changdao will win that fight overall, but there's just too many Chew canoes. They're going to be able to clear them up. The Meteor Hammers and the Iron Flails are going to try and get round and see what they can do, but they're still just sort of... Unfortunately, they're dealing with the Explorer, so it's enabling Morlazan just to keep focusing, and he's just going to keep producing what he does. And he's backing up quite a lot of food here, and he's got 8 Chew canoes on the way now. So you can see they are going to be getting stuck in, but there's just all the pike here. All the pike flooding in. Look at that. Look at the good old Harn. The good old Harn. I do love to see it. It's a great thing to see. It's a great fun sort of Age 2 play. But there's nothing stopping you from switching up. You don't have to play Old Harn for the entire game. If you want to switch composition, it's as easy as just adjusting your macro to food and gold, for example. Maybe going Step Rider, Chew Canoe. You don't have to stay Old Harn for the entire game. But the play that we're seeing here, we are seeing 100% Old Harn commit right here. I say that, we do now see the Ming army, banner army coming in now, which is Pikeman and Kashyyyk. And now we see Chow Mao's he actually went for an age 2 shipment there, didn't he? What did he go for? Oh no, he went for the Beiyang army, 8 step riders and 8 Kashyyyks. So he's just really trying to hold on here and stay on as long as he can with his shipments. But unfortunately, it just does not seem to be enough. Kashyyks are pretty much all taken down. Pikes are clearing up the step riders. And yeah, it's looking pretty evident now that Chow Mao hasn't got anything really left here. Not a lot of steam left. And I'm pretty sure that is GG. And there we go, guys. So a lot of things to sort of comment on there. So I'll break it down for you if you guys want to give this a go. So essentially, Moulazan went ahead and he went for a double village opening. And then in transition, he built a 3rd village. And he went for the card order that he went for was the Northern Refugees first. That enabled him to get 3 villages. And then he went for the T-Export card, allied with Russia. That meant that he could get the blockhouse out. And then pretty much the minute he got into age 2, he started training Old Han and he went straight for the 700 wood shipment first. Now, I think personally, 700 wood shipment is quite greedy. If you want to hit your opponent earlier with a force, with a composition, I personally would maybe go for a unit shipment. Something like the Step Riders are really good because they can get in early and they can maybe do a bit of raiding very early on. It all depends on your matchup. Now, if you're going against a civ that has a devastating and very strong FF like Spain, you might want to get in there a bit earlier, just in case there is some sort of Falk, pop, or something like that. Something that I might recommend as well with that wood, we did see that there was quite a lot of wood backed up for Moulazan. Maybe a recommendation is to build a market once you get your 700 wood. So if you're going to go, for example, if you're going to go 700 wood as your first shipment, you might want to invest in a market so you can spend some of that wood on some upgrades, or go Northern Refugees, T-Export, go for 1 unit shipment, then go for 700 wood, and then when you get your 700 wood, build a market then. Build a market, build another house, another village, sorry. Maybe build a war academy to really get those troops pumping out, get double military buildings. There's many different ways that you can play it in variations, but this way was quite a greedy way for Moulazan, but it worked out for him. You know, he delayed his timing. His timing attack, it was more devastating. There were more troops, but it was a little bit later. So there is that sort of trade up and decision that you need to make with, you know, do I want to hit this opponent really early? If I do, I'm not going to have as many troops, but I'm going to put the pressure on. Or do I want to hold off for a bit? Maybe they're a little bit slow in getting some troops together. So what I want to do, maybe I want to wait until around 8 minutes and then have a substantial force and then push in. So there's lots of different things, but I got to say, I do like the new and improved Old Han. It definitely hits a lot harder because of the blockhouse and also because of being able to ally with the Germans so quickly, and you don't have to wait to build the consulate. The consulate is already there, so you have the benefit of the cheaper armies a lot quicker, and all that just is all good stuff for China. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you do, please let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to try the strategy, the new and improved Old Han. I've mentioned a few variations that you guys can do if you're not comfortable going for the double village. If you're more comfortable going for the village and the TP, there is that option as well. And also there's the option to build a market if you want to in transition. I recommend the market. I like the market. It just secures your eco for the long term in the game, and a lot of the times your age 2 play will sort of drag on a bit longer than you thought. Having all of those market upgrades in is just really going to help you in the long term. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below if you did find it useful, entertaining, and you're going to use the strategies that I've shown you, then please drop a like. And of course, a big thanks to Moulazan for sending through the replay. Thanks guys, catch you in the next video or the next stream. Bye-bye. Bye.